my lips are bigger than they should be. When did you lose your virginity? Is there any way to stop coochie farts? Which vibrator is best? Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. We're gonna get real personal today. So family members, please click off, view at your own discretion. It may be awkward next time you see me. Today I wanted to answer questions that you guys are too afraid to ask anyone else. TMI questions about sex, periods, vulvas, hygiene, masturbation, any of the above. So I asked my Instagram story if they could send in questions at SusieJTodd if you don't follow me on there. And I have received a massive amount of questions. So thank you so much to you guys. And I'm just so excited to delve in because I have not gone this TMI on YouTube before. I would consider myself an oversharer, but for some reason I've never felt comfortable doing it on YouTube. When I was younger, I never had an older sister to ask these questions to. I had 3 older brothers, and I kind of went through my puberty a little bit blind. I had to learn a lot of things the hard way. And if I had a video on YouTube like this, I know it would have made my life so much easier. Why do you always have a UTI, LMFAO? I don't know. I had a UTI 2 days ago and I just chugged water until I was literally ill and I deleted that UTI from this earth. I think it honestly has something to do with my anatomy because I will pee after sex, but I still keep on getting these UTIs. Farts during sex, is it just my kitty that does that? Most likely. I feel like it's much more common to queef during sex than it is to fart. Usually you can tell the difference between a fart and a queef, I feel, because the queef is just air coming out of your hoo-ha. Whereas a fart, you kind of like, you have to release a fart, but with a queef, it just kind of comes out, if you know what I mean. So yes, it most likely is just your kitty and she's just full of air and she just needs to let a little bit out. There's no shame in it. Queefing during sex is completely normal. What do you do if you're super horny, but your vagina didn't get the message and won't get wet? Just use lube. It's that simple. Spit is okay if you like don't have any lube. Probably gonna be better if you use lube. I know that there's people who use coconut oil, but that can upset your pH balance. But yeah, no shame in not being wet down there. Some people naturally have a WAP and some people have a DAP. Just let the person you're with know that you are in fact horny, because I know that sometimes people can get a bit sensitive about that, a bit insecure. They're like, am I doing a good job? Just let them know. Just be like, I struggle with this, but I am enjoying it. If I'm on the pill, is it safe enough to not use a condom or should we double up? I shouldn't go down this path. I really should not be giving you this advice, but personally, condom. I feel like I'm happy with that 99.99% chance that I'm not gonna get pregnant. I feel like definitely if you're having sex with new people, 100% use a condom because STIs are very real and there are some that are incurable. But if you've been in a relationship for a while, then I think it's kind of okay. As long as you're taking your pill at the same time every single day. There are girls that could have sex without a condom and be on the pill and they could get pregnant. So I think you need to really have a think about this yourself and ask yourself, what would I do if I did end up pregnant? Is that something that I want to risk? Also, would you be happy to take a morning after pill if you were worried? Something's been coming out of my kitty lately. It's jelly-like and brown. I have been active in sex last month. That is your unborn child. No, I'm kidding. A jelly-like consistency usually means that you're ovulating, and I assume that that brown could just be some leftover period. I think you should possibly do a pregnancy test. If you aren't pregnant and it continues to stay like that, then go to the doctor because there's probably something going on down there. I know when I wasn't on the pill, I used to have a really irregular period and it would kind of like pop up very subtly. Always a good idea to get an STI check just in case. When did you lose your virginity? I was 18 when I lost my virginity, which I feel like is pretty old. Do I wish that I had lost it earlier? No. I felt like I had a pretty nice first time compared to a lot of people, and that's because it was with someone I really loved and I knew they loved me and I felt really safe. I also feel like virginity is such a over-exaggerated thing, like losing your flower. I don't think that's important, and you should just lose it when you feel like losing it. Is there any way to stop coochie farts? Why are there so many questions about queefs? It's so awful when it happens, but I can't help it. Girl, it's not awful. What goes in must come out, okay? It's a normal thing. I know that it can be a little awkward sometimes. You're gonna get to a point where you literally don't even notice they happen. Is it okay to masturbate, or does it have any side effects? Girl, masturbating is so normal. I can understand where you're coming from, because I remember in school feeling so self-conscious about masturbating. I would not talk about it to my friends. I was terrified at the thought of it being brought up because they never talked about it in sex ed. They talked about the boys masturbating, but oh no, the girls don't get the time of day with that. And it's a much more taboo topic with women than it is for men. Masturbating is good for you and it is completely normal. It's so normal to have the impulse to masturbate. You want to make sure that you're not doing it too much though. I know there's such thing as procrastinating. Masturbating can help release stress. Orgasming releases endorphins that can literally make you happy. It can help you sleep. It also helps you figure out what you like in the bedroom. It can increase your sexual libido. Which vibrator is best, and do I need lube for it? I am so glad you asked, because this portion of the video is sponsored by VUSH. VUSH is all about finding self-love through self-pleasure, and that's why I love their company so much. They're about not creating sex toys for the male gaze, so their advertising shows women in their sweats with their vibrators. It's not showing a girl in like sexy lingerie with a full face of makeup, because that is not realistic. So this lovely lady here is the Empress 2 from VUSH, and she is a clitoral vacuum. This thing, I could not recommend it enough. I have had vibrators before from like Adam and Eve, no offense Adam and Eve. Really not that groundbreaking, like it just sits at the bottom of my undie drawer and I never get it out. This bad boy sits next to my bed and she never leaves my side. You turn it on, it's so quiet. As someone who lives with their parents, that is very important. I'm not going to explain every single pattern, but it's got 8 different patterns, and then it has 5 different intensities. That vacuum stimulation sensation is supposed to mimic like oral sex. And it's completely waterproof, which is amazing. So you can use it in the shower or the bathtub. It also has completely discreet packaging. The box just comes like this. Also, this adorable little silk pouch that says more self-love on it. I honestly had like a dry period for a second where I was in a relationship, so I wasn't really taking that time to pleasure myself. And since using this, it has inspired me. And honestly, I feel like my libido has increased so much. It is so worth the money. I love the brand. I love the product. And not only that, but you can get 50% off by using code Susie. Buy one for yourself, buy one for your mum, buy one for your friends. If you guys do want to pick up a VUSH, make sure you use the link in the description box so they know that I sent you. And if a clitoral vacuum is not your style, they also have a range of vibrators as well, so you can get whatever you feel comfortable with. Is that disgusting for a boy that my lips are bigger than they should be? I assume that you were talking about your labia minora. That part of your body is actually the vulva. The vagina is the inside. So if I say vagina, I mean vulva. I'm just messing up. Outie vaginas are so common, and I can assure you, without even seeing it, you are normal. There is nothing wrong with the way that your vagina looks. Porn stars typically have like no lips whatsoever. Usually that's because they've had a vaginoplasty where they actually get their lips cut off. And I even went to the doctor at one point in my life trying to get that done because I was so self-conscious of the way I looked. I was so lucky to have the most lovely gynecologist in the world tell me that I was completely normal down there. Cannot stress how different every single vagina looks. I remember something that helped me massively was the labialibrary.com. I can link it in the description box for you guys if you want, but basically it is a website that shows pictures of a lot of different women's labias and shows all of the different sizes. You can scroll through and you can look at one and be like, hey, that kind of looks like mine. Any mature guy who is worth your time is going to accept you down there no matter how it looks. Those are your angel wings, honey, and you flaunt them. What's the tea on period sex? Put a towel down, have it in the shower. Period sex is great. How to shave down there, PS illy. Illy too. So I think it's different for everyone. As you guys know, I do like an at-home laser and that has helped immensely. I will be doing an update of my laser hair removal journey soon. I know it's been a massive long time coming. Most important thing I think is using a good quality clean razor. Make sure you are swapping out your razor regularly. Also, shave with the grain. I know it's not going to be as smooth as usual, but that is the only real way that I find I can completely prevent ingrown hairs. Make sure that when you shave down there, you are using a sensitive pH balanced soap-free wash. Which brings me on to my next question. Tips to keep everything healthy down there. Also, I love your video / personality. Thank you, girl. Okay, my number one tip to keep everything healthy down there is do not go putting soaps, scents down near your puthé. I struggled with bacterial vaginosis in school, and that is because nobody told me that you're not supposed to use soap on your hoo-hoo. Probably one of my biggest struggles of school was being like, why does it smell like fish? And being too scared to tell anyone. So I just went on washing it with soap, wondering why it was getting worse. I was like, I better scrub it. I better scrub it with soap and that'll make the smell go away. No, it makes it worse. If your mum tells you to put yogurt up there, like my mum did, don't listen to her. Make sure if you are going to use a wash at all, you can just wash it with water. I personally will use a pH balanced soap-free wash. So this is it. It is just a clean body wash by Frank Body. But the most important thing is that it is pH balanced so that you are not going to upset your pH down there. Something similar, how to make it taste good down there. Like not with eating fruit, because that's all I do. Girl, it's gonna taste like vagina. Everyone has a different taste down there. No matter how many pineapples you eat, it is not gonna taste like a pineapple. And that's okay, because it's not supposed to taste like a pineapple. It's supposed to taste like a vagina. I just recommend having a shower beforehand if you feel a little bit musty, if you've been working. And I'm sure that person going down is just going to be grateful that they get to be down there in the first place. They're not going to worry about what it tastes like. I'm 22 and I still haven't orgasmed. Is that normal? I've had heaps of sex and never faked it. I don't know. What I want to ask is, have you tried to give yourself an orgasm? If you are having sex with straight, cis, white men, chances are they're not very good at giving females orgasms, unfortunately. So you gotta experience that yourself. Maybe get yourself a VUSH, clitoral vacuum stimulator. If that doesn't get you there, I know that some people find it a lot harder to orgasm. I do have friends who did not for a very long time, or they would get very scared and overwhelmed when they got to that edging stage just before a climax. And I think that can be a lot of a mental thing, that can be a trauma thing, so possibly go to a psychologist or a sex therapist and talk to them about it, because I'm not a professional. Did it hurt when you lost your virginity? How did you feel? No, it didn't hurt me at all. And it felt like nothing, to be honest, because I think I was stressing out so much and I was thinking so much about the whole situation and how I was acting that I couldn't even focus on the feeling itself. I know it's different for everyone. Some people can actually stay really tight down there when they're stressed. I suggest if you are scared about it hurting, have an exploration down there. See what hurts. And then you don't have to worry about that hurting when you're having sex for the first time. Do girls actually bleed the first time they have sex? Some do. I didn't. I think a lot of people don't. How to spot a boy that's only in it to have sex and not build an actual relationship. I think most of the time, if a boy wants a relationship with you, if he's really worth it, he will show you. He will voice that and he will make an effort to let you know that he wants to be in a relationship with you. And unfortunately, if you're wondering, then usually that's your answer, that he is not ready for a relationship. I could be wrong though, but most of the time that is the case. How to pee with a tampon. Just pee with the tampon in. Sometimes the pee can get on the tampon. If it's like popping out a little bit, change your tampon. A lot of the time I use period undies though. I love Modi Body period undies so freaking much. They are amazing. So I really recommend looking up Modi Body period undies. They have like heavy flow undies and light flow undies. Someone said, I've been telling all my girlfriends about period panties and how amazing they are. Please do a review on these. Modi Bodies. 10 out of 10. That is my review. I think mine are in the wash right now because I was just on my period, so I can't show you, but they are amazing. I love them. What do you do about PCOS related hair growth, especially on your face? I do have PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome, and that is basically where you have an imbalance of hormones and it can cause like hair growth on your face, cysts on your ovaries. It can cause weight gain, mood changes, irregular periods. It's pretty awful. The way that I deal with PCOS is looking after my diet. I find that I'm much better after cutting out dairy and meat. I find that I get the hairs on my face when I do have dairy. You can search up diet for PCOS and there's a lot of videos on it. Maybe I'll talk more in detail about it in another video. Also, you can go to the doctor and talk to them about that. I know there are tablets that you can take for PCOS. Being on the pill is a massive help. And I had the most irregular, horrible periods before, and now my periods are completely regular and way lighter than they were before. So yeah, the pill helps a lot, but it also has some horrible side effects. Is it easy to get physically tired during sex? Hell yes. Were you body confident the first time you had sex? The first time I had sex, I think yes. I remember I wore some really cute lingerie and I felt very, very confident in myself at that point. I actually, before being with a guy for the first time, was so self-conscious about everything. I remember literally looking in the mirror at my boobs and praying for that day that I got a boob job because I thought they were too saggy. When I look at my boobs now and they just sit completely normal. But really, if a guy or a girl or a non-binary is willing to have sex with you and they've seen you with your clothes on, they probably have a pretty good idea of what you look like with your clothes off. People do not look that different with their clothes on than they do off. If you are with the right person, then they're gonna hopefully make you feel good about the way you look. Sometimes even saying just, I feel insecure about the way this part of my body looks, then most likely they will tell you, you look great. There's nothing wrong with the way you look at all. I remember the first time I showed my boobs, I was like, I'm so self-conscious about the way my boobs look. And then the guy literally said, your boobs are perfect. And I was like, are they? Are we, woman, man, or anyone, supposed to shave our booty hole? You are supposed to do whatever the hell you want to do to your booty hole. If you want that bitch hairy, leave her hairy like a woolly mammoth. If you want her smooth, like a beluga whale, then do that. It's all up to you, babe. It's hard for me to reach an orgasm with my boyfriend. Like, I can do it myself, but with him, it's really hard. Talk to him and tell him what feels good for you. You could even bring a toy into the bedroom. Tell him what feels good. Tell him what is not getting you there. Tell him what's getting you there. Tell him if he's doing the right thing. Tell him to keep doing that exact thing at that exact pace and do not stop. Is it normal to get like a snail trail on your stomach if you're a woman? Yes, yes, yes. I have one girl. Very normal. I'm the same age as you. Is it embarrassing to be a virgin still? Not at all. I have so many friends who are still virgins. I think it is completely normal. I only lost my virginity a couple of years ago. You just do it whenever you feel ready and whenever you find the person that you want to lose it to. Body insecurity in relationships, especially during sex. So many girls are not confident in their bodies with sex. I think it's something that you really need to talk to your partner about. Sometimes you just need them to let you know that they like the way you look. Being confident in yourself, I think, is something that you learn over time. The more confident that you act with your body, the more sexy you are gonna look. Once you accept yourself for the way that you are and you own that body, you are gonna look like a sex god. Confidence is one of the most attractive things ever, and a woman feeling confident in her body is so attractive to guys and girls and non-binary. I think fake it till you make it. I would love to answer more questions, but this video is already getting too long, so thank you guys so much, everyone who sent in questions to my Instagram story. I really hope that this helped you. I loved doing this video so much. My voice is so croaky from talking for the last hour straight. Thank you so much again to VUSH. Pick up your VUSH Empress 2 in the description. Use code Susie for 50% off. I just feel like your big sister and we're just having a intimate girl chat. I would have loved to have this when I was experiencing these things. So I just really hope that this helps you guys, and I hope you enjoyed this chat. Let me know if you enjoyed this video in the comments down below. I would love to hear, and also like if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and join our family of all shapes and sizes. You are welcome here. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Mwah.